Hi there, and welcome to Deliberately Creative with Stephanie from deliberatelycreative.blogspot.com. Today we're doing a glitter house. Glitter houses are sweet little creations that you can put on a base and have set on a table. You can put lights. This happens to be a tea light, battery tea light, and when this is sitting on the table, it actually can sit and it will stay in that spot. By putting the light in, you can get that lovely glow of light flickering inside the house. So this has windows with shutters and a door that opens and closes. It has more windows with shutters. I'm going to take that light away now. It has a big window in the back with more shutters. Windows on this side with shutters. And one of the really cool things about this is that it is covered with glittery snow. And the magic of this glitter snow is a hot glue gun and ultrafine glitter. And that's it. It is so, so cool. And, oh, there you see it. There you can see the glitter. So, I have the pattern for this little house on my website, my blog, and on my Pinterest. You can get to the links for those in the description down there. If you want to, go grab the template pattern from my blog or my Pinterest page, and you can follow along with me. I will do this in real time. I'm not going to speed it up, but it still should only take less than 20 minutes, half an hour. It might take me half an hour just because I am going to be explaining what I'm doing. All right, so materials that you're going to need. You will need a ruler. You will need an X-Acto knife with a pointy sharp blade. You will need ultrafine glitter, and you will also need your hot glue gun and glue stick. Is a ball end stylus. Here, let's do it with the big ball end. A ball end stylus. These are used for rubber stamping, embossing on paper through stencils and things like that. But it works really nice for doing it's not really a score line because scoring is cutting the paper, but it's like scoring the paper with this. It creates an indentation in the paper to make it easier to fold the walls and the flaps in. And let's see, any other tools? Oh yes, a pair of scissors, because I like to do a little bit of speed cutting, and I am way faster with scissors than I am with an X-Acto knife. So, I believe, and you may want a little bit of some type of white glue or decoupage medium to put some glitter on in flat areas that you don't want to be raised up with texture. The glue gun is going to be giving us all of that fantastic. Let's see if we can get the lighting to behave. That fantastic texture here. See, this is all texture. There, you can see the shadow. And down here on the ground also. Ah, you can see the sparkles. This is such a fun little project. Anyway, so what I'm going to be using for my cardboard, this project is going to be a piece of a Kleenex box. The cardboard is already printed. It's got a really nice pattern on it. It's smooth, it's thin, it's easy to fold. So If you got my template off of the website, it's going to look like this. To start off with, we're only going to need the house part, just this part right here. So you can take your pair of scissors and you can do a quick cut to just get to the house. This is the strip for the house. This strip right here is the roof. And if you decide to put it on, there's a little roof that goes over the door to give you a little porch roof. This is a suggested size for the base. You don't have to put the big base on it. You can cut this base in half and have just a small card underneath of the house. And then you can also put a string, use a heavy-duty needle, poke it through, pull it through, and tie it with have a string so that you can hang this in the tree. And the neat thing about hanging it in a tree is whatever way you end up with it sitting in the tree, you can put a light in one of these little windows, and you can have light inside of your little house that goes with your tree. Fun! So, I'm going to move these other pieces out of the way. And just to make it easier for you to see it, I did cut just the outside edges of my little house. And I have just some not super duper sticky anymore, but sort of sticky double stick tape. It's not going to hurt the cardboard, and it doesn't really matter if it does, because these two flaps right here are for the roof. They're for the inside of the roof. They're the supports for the roof. So, starting off, you're going to want to score your cardboard. I'm going to turn it this way. So, to score the cardboard, you're going to want to line your ruler up along all of the dotted lines. So, starting off, I am going to line it up along these dotted lines here, and I'm going to zoom in just a smidge so you can see it a little bit better. So, here, you can see the lines right there and right here. So right here and right here. I'm going to just run my tool, and it's going to just dent the paper. And I'm denting the paper through the pattern. So if you print this on just text weight paper, it will be better than printing it out on cardstock. Unless you want to have your houses printed on the inside of the paper. So if I did do this on cardstock, I could just do all of my lines here, do my scoring, do my cutting, and my folding, all with this one piece. I would have a bright white house. But before I glue it together, after I've got everything cut, I could lay this down and give it a wash of some color if I wanted to. All white houses in little all white villages are so pretty. So a white glittered house might be exactly what you want. If that's the case, whatever the heaviest weight cardstock is that you can run through your printer, you would be 2/3 of the way there already. But I'm doing it this way. So here we are. We've scored the bottom lines. We've scored the parallel lines up here on the flaps. I'm going to get these lines that are going up and down. So the perpendicular lines are going to get embossed here. And of course, I need to go back and do all of the windows and doors because those are perpendicular lines also. So the dotted lines on all of the windows need a quick little embossing here. Quick little embossing. So here we go. The door only has one side that gets embossed because it will have two sides or around three edges that are going to be cut. But the windows are cut only across the top and the bottom and then down the middle. I need to move over just a little bit. That little overshoot of a line is not going to be a problem, especially since these are getting glittered. They won't get glittered until after they've been glued together though. So we will get them cut out and then glittered, glued together and then glittered. Almost done. And now this is probably taking longer for me doing it right now because I'm talking while I'm doing it. If I were just getting it done, it would not take so long. Now, we're going to cut along the tops of all of the windows and the door. One of the things that I did with this pattern is I lined them up. So you can just put the ruler down and cut across the top of each window and the door without having to move the ruler. Now, we're going to move down to the bottom of the windows. The bottoms of all of the windows are lined up. Do not cut at the door on this line. This line right now is just the bottoms of the windows. Window 1, window 2, skip the door. Window 3, and window 4. Now, we are going to split the windows open. So, splitting the windows open makes it so the window's open. Otherwise, you just have a slit. Now, you do not have to even do any cuts at these windows. You could cut squares or rectangles of paper. You could print paper pieces that are made to look like windows and doors. I found online these little doors and window pieces that you can print out in color on your printer. You can resize them to fit the house that you're working on. You can cut them down and make cool looking windows or as doors. They have several different sizes all on one sheet. And I found mine just doing a search for glitter houses. There's a lot of resources out there, free things that people have put online to help with this. Glitter houses were really popular way back during the Depression and clear through the 40s. People would work on these. They would build villages that they would have all made, They would make new house each year to go into their villages. They would make huge, beautiful things. They would also have little houses like these to fill their little villages up and to make them look very populated. All right, so let's see. Did I cut the bottom of that door? I don't remember cutting the bottom of the door. I did not cut the bottom of the door. So we are going to cut the bottom of the door because I was very careful not to cut across the door when I was doing the windows. All right, so now it's time for the scissors because I am way faster cutting with scissors. And now, if you did print your pattern on cardstock, and you were using it for cutting out other designs, not using it as your house, the cardstock helps with cutting when you're cutting like this, doing the gorilla cutting, just grabbing it and cutting along. There we go. Now, there's this space right here. You cut all the way on that. That is a solid line. Okay? Dotted lines we don't cut on. Solid lines we do. Around the outside. And down the flap. And the reason why we cut there is to make it so that flap will fold at the dotted line all the way across. If you didn't cut there, it would stop right here above that folded line, and you wouldn't ever get the flap to fold properly for you. So here we go. Snip, snip, snip. These tabs here are for the base so that you have a place to put glue. And let's see here. Well, you know, I don't really think that's going to be long enough for my roof. So I am just going to grab some white cardstock. And just nip this off really quick. Sorry about that. So I'm just going to line it up right here, and I'm going to cut. Cut, cut, cut. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. It doesn't have to be perfectly the same. Doesn't have to be perfectly the same size as this pattern. This is a suggestion. This is not something that you have to follow for certain. This is a suggestion. Now, I am going to do a quick score on this one. It is about 4 1/4, so 2 1/8. There we go. About 2 1/8. And that makes it a whole lot easier to fold this cardboard. And see, let's see, can you see? Yeah, it's not perfect. That's okay. It's on either side of the house. I don't think anyone is going to be measuring the millimeter that it is longer on one side than the other. Really and truly not going to happen. Don't have to worry about it. So, here's the house. Let's see, can you see? There. There, you can see how the line's embossed all the way through and how the cut lines are here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to check these cut lines. Sometimes the cut lines cut really well, and sometimes there's a spot that gets stuck. So I'm just going to run my little knife through here just to check them, just to check those lines. Whoops. I went off a little bit on that door, got a little scrape on it, no big deal. I'll put some glue and some glitter on it. Glue and glitter fix everything. Just a bit of glue and glitter and your life is happy. Well, your little pretend life in this village will be really happy no matter what. All right, so I'm going to open my doors and windows. So open. These remind me, these little doors like this remind me of the old-fashioned advent calendars that you would get with the little doors. You know, on door 12, open this door. On door 15, you get to open this one. On door 2, you got that one. And they would bounce you all over the advent calendar. Yeah, that is really what these remind me of. That is something that you can actually do with these, is you could get old Christmas cards and you can find pictures that you like and put the little picture behind the doors in the windows. So then you open the windows and there's a picture there. And ooh, there's Santa. So you could have Santa looking out the window. All kinds of fun. All kinds of fun. Oh, the little doll right there in that window. Fun things. All right. So here we go. I'm going to flip this over to the back. I'm just going to sort of close these windows and doors now. I'm going to flip it to the back, and I'm going to just pull up all of these. And of course, this happens to be the seam on this box, and so the score line had to work really hard right there, and I didn't realize it. So I'm sort of making it happen here. There we go. Fold back this tab, then open these out, fold the walls. Fold the walls. And fold the walls. Ooh, maybe I can get that piece off of there. Yes, I can get that off of there. There, that will help to lighten the load there. Then, these little tabs right here, I'm going to fold them this way and then fold it back, maybe? Let's see. Or I'll just fold them back. I can just fold them back. They'll go. They're going on those lines. This tall tab comes down. This is going to be that roof support. This is another gable. The gables are the ends of the house. So your pointy gables. And then this is the other roof support. Alrighty, we are so close. I can smell it. Actually, I think what I'm smelling is the glue gun, because that is what I'm going to use to put this together. So, glue guns are fine for use on this. White glue is fine for use on this. You want to make sure you use whatever adhesive you feel comfortable with using. You also need to take in consideration the people who are making it. Sorry, get that up here. You can see this is that's the seam right there. And there's a little bit of glue sticking out. I'm not too worried about it because I'm going to be running glue all over this, putting glitter on it. So now the roof supports get put into place. I'm pulling them back out of the way just a little bit so that I can reach in with the glue gun and put a line of glue and a line of glue, line of glue, and line of glue. And smack those down and just sort of squeeze it in. And try not to glue myself to it. The little bits of glue that stick out, no big deal. Because remember, we're going to put glitter all over this baby. And here's the base. So I'm going to open this up and just put a drop of glue on the two ends of the long sides. Put one on each side of the long sides. Just hold it there for a second. Then I'm going to flip it over, and I'm keeping pressure down on it and sort of running it around a little bit. What that does, because I'm using it on top of a cutting mat, it's not a non-stick cutting mat, but as long as I start out with it moving, it will flatten the glue and it will keep it from sticking to the mat. All right, we're down to putting the roof on. So this little roof, I like having long sides on my roofs. Here's the door. Oops. Get open there, you. There you are. Here's the door. Here are the windows. And this is the roof. Well, I think I am going to, when I put it on, I'm going to slide it so there's just a small overhang on the back and a deeper overhang on the front. I kind of like it that way. I think it looks nice. So, the way to make it so I don't end up with glue all over the inside of the parts of the roof that don't need glue, so I put the glue on the roof support. And now, remember, this is the back, and so I'm going to make it with just a little overhang back here and a deep overhang in the front. And then I'm squishing it down. Squish, squish. We'll smush it in against the table. Holds it nice and tight that way. All right. The little house just needs to be glued down to some type of a base. Or not, because if you wanted to, you could set your house on top of the little lights like this. I don't know if you're going to be able to see the light in there because I've got so much light. Oh, there you go. You could see it. Oh, there's light. But what's really nice is when you have it sitting down in your little village and you have all of the little lights. I think I'm going to leave this one this way. I'm not going to put a base on it. You can, though. You can certainly glue it down onto a card so you can have opportunity to put more snow and trees. And this snow is just hot glue covered with glitter. See if we can just angle it at an angle. There you go. Angle it at an angle. All right. So we've got a clear space here that just has a little bit of glitter flat on the cardboard. Then I've got hot glue that was just squirted out here and covered with glitter. As soon as the hot glue is out, you pour glitter over it and you're done. So now we're going to put glitter on. So here we go. I'm going to have my glitter out. I am using the Martha Stewart glitter Brilliantina It is crystal fine. And it is really pretty. This is not an iridescent glitter. This is just a white, snowy looking glitter. So it makes a really nice icy look. I am going to put glue. I'm going to do one side first, then go and do the other. So at the ridge line, I'm putting glue. Then I'm going to drip down the roof a little bit, all the way to the edge. And I'm going to make sure that it goes out to the sides. And I'm going to drip down all the way to the edge. And then I'm going to come across. And if the little bit of glue sort of burbles over and dribbles, that's okay. I'm going to come back here. And I am just going to give it kind of a snowy, drippy look. Now my glue is really hot. So I don't have to worry about it drying too fast on me. If you're using a slow melt or a low temperature melted glue gun, you might have to work a little bit faster. And now I have snowy glitter. And I do have this, whoops, my glue was not dry yet. Oh, that's okay. I've got an icicle hanging off the edge now. There we go. Whoops, sorry. An icicle hanging off the edge. I don't know if you can see it. Just a little icicle. It's crystally icicle right there. Trying to get that angle. There we go. A little bit of shadow on it so you can see the crystally glitter. It's amazing that you need shadows to see glitter. There it is. All right, get the other side. So here we go. At the ridge line, meeting up where I had put it on before. And I'm just sort of holding it down and pulling it down the roof. Give it a lump of glue along the bottom edge and back up. And just letting it run down the house, down the roof. See how it's just sort of running down the roof. There we go. Okay. And now, pour on the glitter. Okay. Real quick, I am going to make a little roof for the door. I decided I'm going to do it. So I'm just using a piece of paper, a piece of cardstock paper, cut into a long thin rectangle. The pattern is on the pattern sheet. I will put some glue up and over the door. Up and over the door. Put my little roof over the door. Nice thing about hot glue, you don't have to worry about waiting for it to dry because it dries so quickly. Then I'm going to put a little bit of glue up here. Boom. And dribble it down just a little bit. And dribble it down just a little bit. And a little bit of glue on the corners. Whoopsie. A little bit of glue on the corners. And on the corner. And around the front edge. Sprinkle it with glitter. Any of these little spider webby thingies, just make sure you pick them off. Just take care of them before, when you see them, take care of them. So that way you don't have to worry about it later going, oh my goodness, it looks like spiders got at my little house. And it wasn't, it was just your hot glue. A little bit of glue across here. Up that edge. And around the base. And up that edge. And pour on the glitter. making this little house all crystally. And one more edge, just this bottom edge here. A little bit more snow. Pour on the glitter. Now I'm going to pour the glitter back into my jar, just because even though glitter's not that terribly expensive, it seems so wasteful to just throw out the glitter because it spilled out of the jar. Now, really fast, I am going to put some glue on this roof in the flat areas. These low areas, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue so that I can put some glitter. Actually, I'll just use Mod Podge because it's a lighter body. So I'm just going to go smoosh, just smudge a little bit of glue in there, and then sprinkle. And that just makes it look like you've got the heavy snow up here, and you've got some areas where the snow, there. You've got the heavy snow up here, and you've got some areas where it's sparkly, like there's been a little bit of new snowfall, but you'd had snow falling off the edge of the house. So this edge right here was the parts that were up here. It's kind of cool that way. All right. And do that same thing on the other side, and then we're done. Here we go. A little bit of glitter. This is the back of the house. You know what? I want some heavier glitter up in there. Not super duper heavy, but I want like the ice is sort of rolled around the roof and come down on the inside there. I know it's not really where snow would go, where ice would go, but I like it. I'm not going to put any up inside of there, but I might, of the hot glue, but I may go ahead and just brush my wet paintbrush, my gluey wet paintbrush. It's not heavy with glue, it's just a little bit. And kind of crystallize that, oh yeah. Just get a little crystally on the front. It sort of subdues the pattern. But this little house is adorable. It is so, so cute. All right, so let's see. Can we just slip that onto the base there? That is a perfect fit. You could do something, decorate these little candles. You could wrap ribbon around them, or you could just set these down in the the polyfill or something like that that you have that you're using for your display. So you could hide that inside of just some polyfill or angel batting or whatever you want to use. So if you like this project, I'd love to know that. Please leave me a comment. Go ahead and click like. And if you would like to find out when I do more videos, click subscribe. As always, go out and do something creative today.